All right, here we go. Ray J, our first official interview. Man, like a decade or so.
I know, man. Congratulations on everything.
Man, congratulations to you too.
Thanks, man. I'm just taking it one day at a time.
Yeah, we're going to get into all that because we've done other pieces here and there.
Yeah.
But I think this is our first real serious.
I think so.
Yeah, first serious one.
It's good now. It's 2025. Yeah. 24 was just kind of like a way out, twisted, expression, I think, for me. And I think in 2025, we just got a brand new plan.
Yeah.
A new outlook on what we need to do. So you get the calm, collective, kind of boring me. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. Well, we have a lot to talk about.
Okay.
And I did a lot of research on you before we started. I never realized Snoop is your cousin.
Yeah.
How are you guys related exactly?
We're all from Mississippi, so... all of our cousins go from Jackson down to Macomb, Mississippi, down to New Orleans, all up the coast. And so it's crazy because Daz's mom, Snoop's mom, my auntie, my mom, they all used to ride on the same bus that my granddad used to drive a long time ago. And it's crazy because we all kind of all came to Cali, went our separate ways, but then ended up kind of in the same space. But it was like Brandy was super clean, Snoop was all the way, you know what I'm saying, in his world. And so the contrast was crazy. So it was like trying to keep that at a minimum, but I was the one to kind of break the ice.
Now, when did you start hanging around Death Row?
When I was I think 14, 15.
Okay. So that was 2003, 2002, something like that?
Yeah, I think, man, when you get older and the way we kind of lived our life, a lot of this shit is a blur. So yeah, I think.
Well, hold on. But you were hanging around Death Row when Pac was there, right?
Way before Pac was there.
Before Pac was there. So you're talking about before 2002, because Pac died in 96. So you're talking about the 90s.
Yeah, so it was two waves. So it was the 90s wave, and then it was the wave when Suge got out of jail.
Okay.
So it was two waves. So when Suge first got out of jail, he had all the bread. You get what I'm saying? So it was fresh out. And then before that, it was I was hiding. I used to tell my dad, and Pops, don't get upset, but I used to tell my dad that I was going down the street to do my homework. And Snoop and Dad used to pick me up in the old school Cherokee Jeep, and I used to just hide under the back of the seat, and then I used to go to Can-Am every day. That was way before Pac came on.
Okay, so when you were at Can-Am, what projects were they working on at that time that you got to witness?
At Death Row?
Yeah.
Everything from Above the Rim, all of Snoop's albums, Corrupt, The Dog Pound, Lady of Rage, OFTB.
Everything, all the real pivotal projects.
Yeah, Tupac, when Pac was recording, we was all around. It just kept waving. You know what I'm saying? You know what's crazy though? Throughout all of that, I still never.
During that 90s era Death Row, I heard a lot of stories, a lot of people I interviewed that were there. And I was told it was a very tense time because you had Suge, then you had all the Bloods in there, and one of them would have a bad day, get into a fight with his girl, then goes just smack somebody, and there was a door that didn't have a handle on the inside.
Wait, what? Wait.
You didn't hear about this? The door?
The door.
There was a door that people used to just...
Which one?
The Red Room.
Yeah, there we go. The Red Room.
And what happened in the Red Room?
People used to just get hands and feet put on them in this room. From what I was told by multiple people. I'm not making this up.
Nah, shit.
Your man just keeps... Okay, see? Your man just keeps you in on it. Well, Danny Boy was over there during that time. He said at one point you guys were friends, but then something went wrong and you guys had some sort of issues at one point. You know anything about this?
With Danny Boy?
Yeah.
It was just so much stuff happening. It was just in so many different ways. It was like you had the Danny Boy situation. You had just the overall like death row situation. You had your personal life situation. And then for me, like I was with Suge every single day. And I really wasn't with nobody else inside the bigger wave of thing. And then at times I would go and like, you know, I was around a lot of different people inside the bubble, but it all came back to Simon. So it's just a gang of shit happening, you know, that's just life, you know. I don't remember the details. These niggas be remembering like exact days, what be happening. But, you know, when you get older, you kind of just try to make peace with everybody and say, fuck whatever happened.
I'm looking through this interview, and Danny Boy said some interesting shit.
Okay.
He said while he was drinking and smoking with some of the barbers, they were shocked he was smoking and insinuated he had a drug problem. When he asked where they got the information, they said it was from Ray J. And they said that Ray J also said that Danny Boy was trying to force some gay shit on him. That's what Danny Boy said. Did you know that Danny Boy was gay during that time?
He said he was gay now?
Yeah.
So he's gay?
He's gay. He's out in the open. I've interviewed him about it. He cried, felt bad about his son.
And shout out to Danny Boy.
Yeah.
You know, shit. I don't like to, you know, point the finger. I think that like everybody grow up and everybody trying to understand who everybody is, you know what I'm saying? And what everybody is about. It's a lot of rock and roll shit going on out here. It's a lot of shit happening in real time that most of the time you would never really get to see or never really get to experience because it's like there was nothing nobody couldn't do. You get what I'm saying? Like we could do whatever we want to do. And so, as far as enforcing shit like that on me, you know, I don't think enforce is the word. You know what I'm saying? I just think that I was real vocal about like what happened in certain situations back when I was younger. So I was more like, and this nigga did this, you know what I'm saying? And you know, and this, you know what I'm saying? So I was more like sporadic on my experiences. Is sporadic a word?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 for 2.
2 for 2.
I was just like, when you look back at me, it was just, I was real loud and I just didn't give a fuck. And so I said a lot of shit. A lot of that shit's true. But now, you know, in 2025, it's like, how do you make peace with everybody and move on? Niggas just said they admitted that they was, you know.
What changed in Death Row when Tupac signed?
What changed?
Yeah, when he started, you know, being part of the mix, now you got the superstar along with Snoop and Dre and everyone else. But Tupac had a very interesting type of fame that I don't think anyone really had, ever.
Well, I just feel like when you get around Suge is really the person in the studio, like giving you your inspiration, especially in that kind of like intense, like vital beef moment of wherever Pac was in his life on whatever he had to get off his chest, as far as whether it was the naysayers or whether, you know, whatever somebody did to him or whatever was going on. And Suge supported that in a way where you feel unstoppable, you know, and a lot of things, like anytime I've been in the studio with Suge, he always kind of broke down like what niggas should talk about on songs and stuff and how it should be said pretty much in song. So that's just my experience with Suge because I was always with him. Now you got Dr. Dre and Snoop, everybody, they do their own songs. Suge not in the studio, you know what I'm saying? But every session I've been in with Simon, he always really pretty much gave you the experience first, where we went on like a week and a half crazy run, just living crazy, and then you go to the studio and you talk about it and you like sing about it or whatever.
Yeah, I got a chance to talk to Suge for the first time a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah, for the first time?
First time. I've always said that I'm never going to talk to Suge, but over time I said, well, why am I on this high horse right now? Like,
yeah, why you didn't want to talk to him?
I just felt like so many bad things happened around Suge that I was sort of concerned about being around that energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I always kind of kept my distance. Even when me and Suge, when he was out, we'd be in the same room and I'd be like, yeah, I'm not going to go. I'm like, I know he knows who I am.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm like, I'm just not going to talk to him because I've just had too many people that had bad experiences. But then I remember I was on Drink Champs, and I mentioned that, and Nori was like, well, what about the people who had good experiences, like Ja Rule or Gotti? And he started naming more and more people, and I'm like, okay, that's a good point. Maybe I need to get off my high horse at one point. And we talked, a couple times actually. And we might do something together.
That's dope. Yeah, I talked to Suge.
Well, you said that you saw Faith Evans sitting on
I
Tupac's
knew
lap.
he was gonna do it.
Yes.
That's what I was getting. Yo, Faith is so mad at me. She don't even speak to me. I swear to God.
Over that comment?
I think so. But she cool with like Princess. She always like show love to like everybody around that I'm cool with. But she don't say shit to me, yo.
Because of that.
And I don't bother her about it either. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't bother her about it. Like I love you, Faith, and I respect you. Again, like there has to be a time in people's life where they kind of flip the script and start to move in a different way. So you look back at everything you did, like Ray J. Like I'm not Ray J no more. I'm Tron. I'm no longer Ray J. There's no J to Ray no more.
Plain Ray.
Ray Tron.
Ray Tron. Okay.
And Tron is because we're inside the digital system now, right?
Right.
We're
the movie
inside.
Tron.
It's in that space, but we're in the game. But we're in a digital game. We're in a robotic game. We're in an electronics game. We're inside the system. So Jay is everything that I did, everything I said, all the shit that people can pile up and go, damn, when I was with Ray J, he did this. When I was with Ray J, he said that. When I was with Ray J, he did this. That's all Ray J. That's no longer who I am.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm trying. I've been trying to get my whole team to call me Tron. They keep calling me Ray J. I'm like, they not really like understanding. Like I'm already working on changing my whole government.
All right, well, Tron, I will say this. I interviewed Faith, and in her book, she wrote that, she did some music with Pac, and then when they went to the hotel room, he tried to push up on her, and she wasn't with it, and she left. I will say this, though. I do know someone that was very close to Tupac during this time.
Yeah.
And they said that after Pac and Faith had relations, Pac called them, like, in the bathroom right away. It was like, yo, me and Faith just did our thing.
Yeah.
Which, this is something he told me off camera.
Yeah.
So I tend to believe that Pac and Faith had relations, and the other day there's nothing wrong with that.
So what I say? What did I say on the thing a long time ago? What did Ray J say? Not Tron, but what did Ray J say?
You saw Faith Evans sitting on Tupac's lap.
Where?
Not sure. Don't remember.
That's it?
That's it.
Not even specifically where I was.
I don't remember
what we were doing.
I have to pull up the actual clip to get all the details.
Okay, got it.
Do you want me to do that?
No, I'm a journalist.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, pull it up?
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Shout out to Art of Dialogue.
You did an interview back in 2008, right? Where you made a comment saying that she seen Faith on Tupac lap.
See, that's what I'm saying. I didn't want to go viral again because I done said when I was younger, bro, that I don't even feel like I should have said because it was probably nobody's business. You get what I'm saying? And so that's what took me back to that.
Here's what it is. I'm kind of saying the same thing I'm saying now.
Right.
Where you see me trying to change.
Right.
And this is 10 years before now. Mm-hmm. But they just keep calling me back in. They keep bringing me.
At one point, Suge Knight signed over his life rights to you.
Yeah. Like, okay, so you know what everybody called Suge, right? No, nobody, if you was around Suge, you really didn't address Suge as Suge. Everybody called Suge Simon.
Right. That's his real name. Well,
right.
No, wait, Marion Suge Knight.
No,
so
Simon is like in the same verbiage of Simon Says.
Okay, that's what it's from.
Could be.
Okay.
Could be just another kind of nickname, right? But that's what everybody called the homie and still does. Simon used to call me Lil Simon. So everybody around had to call me Lil Simon.
So you were his little homie, basically.
That's
right?
how you want to put it.
I mean, that's where the little name usually comes from, right? It's a term of respect to the big homie, right?
That's the homie.
Okay.
But Suge, would come around for Christmas and like Thanksgiving and come and chill with my mom and dad and talk to my mom on the phone every single day, frequently about a bunch of different things. So it was a lot there. It's a lot with me and Suge and just everything that he did with me in business and just a lot of shit, you know, it's just a lot going on. Still to this day, like we got a lot of stuff coming out, like some really dope stuff, and I can't wait for people to see it because it's gritty, it's honest, and it's something that I think he would want people to see because the approach is spot on. It's not friendly, it's not kind. There's no positive ending to what it is that we're showing you. It's very grimy.
Well, Whack 100 is a regular on my show. That's what got us together, by the way.
Shout out to Cash Jones.
Cash Jones. Me and him have very
because
interesting
Whack
history.
100 is not Whack 100. Whack 100 is inside of his own Tron, his own system.
Right.
His own digital vortex of what it is.
Yeah.
Cass Jones is who he really is. Every day on a personal and business scale.
And I gotta say before I go on, I have to applaud Whack's growth since I met him back in 2013. And we'll get into the story later on. But right now, like, Whack really has not only been a regular on my show and the clips have all performed very well, which is why you see him on there all the time, but he's also went out of his way to like get me on the phone with Nick Cannon because me and him had a falling out some years back, and you're here because of Whack. You know, he's the one that kind of brokered this and everything. I just feel that overall Whack has just grown into a business person.
Well, that's not Whack.
That's Cash Jones.
That's Cash Jones.
Well, I'm just saying the person
so you
formerly known
can't,
as Whack.
Well, no. Whack 100 is for entertainment purposes.
Right. On Clubhouse and so forth.
Everything that comes with the entertainment side of Whack 100, that's something that people are entertained by. And so he gives you a stellar performance.
Right.
With facts.
Yes.
And everything along with that makes it extremely credible in a lot of different ways. So right or wrong or right, there's always something credible inside of what Whack is doing. Good or bad, in people's eyesight. Cash Jones is just a different person. Cash Jones, when it was 2:02, I was supposed to be here at 2. I got here with like 2:20, 2:25.
Something like that. Yeah.
Right, so I was 20 minutes late, and I apologize, right? Because I'm usually on time.
Yeah.
At 2:02, Cash Jones hit me like, you late, bro. And all I got is my relationships with everybody. So he talked to me, I shared my location. That's how extreme Cash Jones is. So that's why with Ray J and Tron and, you know, people that are really portrayed as villains like in this network, there's always a positive side to what it is, and there's always smoke and mirrors to everything, you know. And I don't want to expose all smoke and mirrors and how it's trolled and how people are bringing you in to.
Well, the first time I interviewed Whack, your name came up, and I didn't know this, but he said you're actually a Pyru, blood yourself. When you know me, I wouldn't let one of my people talk crazy to you.
No. See, it's the problem.
See, but that was my rationale.
Y'all
at the time.
both see Ray as an R&B singer.
Yeah.
Ray Pyro.
Okay.
He on the phone with a G homie.
Got it.
He ain't got no chance, no
Okay, fair
option
enough.
but to stand with me.
I mean, I grew up in Centerview, and, you know, since I was like 13, like maybe even 12, you know, I was extremely banged out. And it's kind of hard to believe, but, you know, I really don't speak on it because if you're from LA, then you know what it is. But if not, then it's kind of like a fairy tale in people's mind. And so I don't really try to like...
Glorify it?
Yeah. Because,
I was
usually,
surprised. As long as we've known each other, I never knew that side of you. Because you never put it front and center.
Yeah,
so when he said it, I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
I was extremely activated.
Okay, so how old were you when you officially became Pyru?
You usually don't say when you became anything. Like it's embedded in your like soul.
Okay, but you didn't get jumped in at a certain age or that type of thing?
I mean, yeah, but I just don't like to get into it because it's irrelevant to like what it is now, right?
Fair enough.
Yeah. It was the whole process was intense, and I was super banged out. I used to hit up outside of the hood every day, the hood.
Spray
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I was 12 and 13. But usually when you start doing shit like that, you like a little kid. And then it goes into like the teenage years, and it goes into like high school. And then by that time after that, you kind of start to grow out of it, whoever you are. So when people start gangbanging later on in life, it's not the same as when you like actually just lived in the neighborhood and just caught up with whatever the people that you love, and whatever y'all doing is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So
What do you think during that time in your life was the most serious situation you got into?
I mean, it wasn't one crazy situation. It's just when you young and you get with the wrong crowd, and if you gangbanging, that's the wrong crowd, period. And I love all my homies, and all my homies will tell you, most of my homies is dead. Mostly everybody that is close to me is dead. And that go from when I was with Suge every day, that goes when I was in Centerview every day, that goes when I was around anything in that kind of world. So the celebration behind it is not there. You celebrating because you love your people. And then if it's all burgundy or all red or blue or whatever, wherever you're from, you love your people around you because they got your back. But it doesn't end well in any of those situations.
Yeah.
So I advise everybody not to do none of that shit, because you better than that.
Now, isn't there a Lil Ray J that's still running around?
A little Ray J?
Yeah.
Like what? What you mean?
Like a little homie that named himself after you.
There's no little Ray J.
Okay, I heard
Now,
that.
again, when you from
You never heard this before?
When you from a certain neighborhood, I'm from Centerview, Paru.
Right.
That's where I grew up. That's where all my people is from since I was way before 11, 12. We talking 6, 7 years old, right? And it's just what you adapt to in any area. When I was on TV, the homies used to call me movie star blood because I used to be on TV at that time.
Movie star blood.
Right? And so that's what they called me, because none of the homies felt like I even needed to be still in that certain mindset. None of my big homies, Solo, all the homies that I was with that really had my back was telling me I was tweaking. You need to go and be great. That was their message. For me, it was embedded in my soul at the time I was young. It was like the homies was all we had. And so looking back and fast forward into now, I understand what they were saying. And we lost a lot of people. Literally. Like all our like close homies that we love is dead, bro. You know what I'm saying? So for me to glorify any of that shit will only be speaking to the young masses saying, oh, it's all good. I was that. If niggas really don't know, like what I was, that ain't okay. It doesn't end well. It's like, I'm trying to find a place in time where I can actually make my mom, my dad, and my sister proud. I'm trying to find a space for it. I'm trying to see what I can do to do better, right, in 2025. And so glorifying gangs and glorifying the streets and the negativity of what it leads to, I can't be a part of it.
Well, I don't think it's glorifying, because I think it's a cautionary tale. Because I've interviewed literally hundreds of people.
I've been in the game since I was like 13, 14. Mm-hmm. So you can even ask like Lil C's, he'll tell you right now. When Biggie was out here, right before he died, they came to a Moesha party and they found out that I smoked weed and I was turned up. And I'm just Brandy's little brother.
How old were you at the time?
I don't remember. This is all
97.
Probably.
So you're how old at the time?
Who knows? I would have to think about
you were 15, 16.
Right?
About 16 years old, yeah.
I was 16 because I could drive. Now, okay, 16. Now I'm remembering. Mm-hmm. So my sister let me have the Range Rover 4.6. That was at the time where the 4.0 wasn't popping. The 4.6 was popping. That was the big Range Rover. So long story short, I ended up smoking with Big that night. They end up inviting me to the hotel like a day or two before everything happened with Big in LA. We spent all day together. We smoked out. These niggas was tripping that I was like a young, crazy little loony, like bad kid. So we was connecting. And then all that shit happened. And I could tell you stories about everybody that was big, that had money, all the kingpins, all the bosses. Like, it don't end well for nobody.
Yeah.
Not one of them.
Yeah. I agree.
Name me one.
I can't name any. Not Freeway Ricky Ross, not Big Meech, not Lil D from Oakland. There was a rumor that when Kim and Kanye got married in 2014, you sent a marriage gift of all your profits from that tape. Is that true?
Ray J did a lot of crazy shit, Vlad. I'm trying now.
Okay.
Right? Ray J did shit that was uncalled for at times. That is unexplainable. That's not okay.
Okay.
And so, looking back, even though everything is always factual, I got a song called Factual coming out, and it's stating all the facts. Doesn't mean it's right that I stated the facts. Could have kept them to myself. Facts remain. Timing, why I said it, why anybody should know it, it's questionable. Because a lot of times, moving in silence is always better. But when you're activated in this industry and people are tuned into something that they have no idea about, a lot of times you want to give them information. Sometimes it goes left, sometimes it goes right.
Ray J in 2025, do you wish that chapter of your life never happened? Or do you feel ultimately you turned into a positive over time?
Yeah, well, as Tron now, where I want to give back, meaning like I got the Tronics Network. If you look at Tronics 2024, I put a lot of money behind Tronics. The subject matter behind Tronics is at an all-time high of ratchet television. It's probably some of the worst situations anybody's ever been in. It's over the top. So morally, now having the shows and then saying, I'm gonna put the money up for marketing, I started to look at the shows and I started to go, what's the benefit any of these cast members have after doing this show? I'm gonna profit from all of this negativity and trauma from everybody really just opening up their doors and exposing who they are. And so everybody's relating, but these people are going through a hard time when they finish doing these shows. If your people go to church, church is tripping. Your friends, your cousins, your mom, your dad, because most of the people taking it serious. And so I had to pull back from Tronics because I'm like, all right, I'd rather lose all that money, restart the network in 25 and become an opportunity network where I can build a community of people and audition the greatest stars from every column of whatever entertainment it is and give them a chance to become big and become a star and focus on making people stars the right way. So 6 million gone, 2 million to build all the data and understand that you didn't even need to do that. All you needed to do was just go on a platform that was a la carte. Gone. I'm good with that. I can't compete with all the shit that I've already done. And that's all I was doing. And so the morals and the integrity behind where I'm trying to be in 2025 supersedes the shows that I was about to produce. So everything got shut down and now I'm restarting everything.
Did you and Kanye ever have a relationship of any kind?
Me and Kanye?
Yeah.
I don't know if he was Kanye or he was Ye at the time. But yeah,
Have you guys ever sat down and had a long conversation together?
I spent like a week and a half with Ye.
Okay, there's my answer.
I spent like a week and a half with Ye. He came and picked me up on this jet and we went all around the world. And it was a dope experience and we was able to kind of squash everything. And it was during the time where all of this other drama was going on in his life, when he was at an all-time, I guess, red light for the industry. And he went on Drink Champs and he broke down really what happened with me and him.
Have you seen what he's been on the last couple of days?
Not really, because I've been having I don't know what I ate, but I've been having I got allergic to something, so I've been bed rest.
Okay, well, if you go to Yeezy.com, there's only one item that's being sold right now, and that is this t-shirt right here for $20. It's a swastika in the middle of a white t-shirt. Oh, it's not a joke. You can actually buy a swastika t-shirt on Yeezy.com right now. I mean, well, what else is there? At this point, his Twitter account has been deactivated. He put up this one here. Jews were better as slaves. You have to put your Jews in their place and make them into your slaves. As well as showing his admiration of Hitler and you know, and so forth.
I can't speak on that. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I'll speak on it. I think the ironic part of all this is I don't know how Kanye doesn't realize that Hitler also hated black people, you know, and as well as in Germany, kids who were biracial were actually sterilized so they couldn't reproduce. Kanye has 4 mixed biracial children. So to show admiration to someone who really would have put you in a gas chamber, it just seems...
What does that do? What happens now?
You know, as well as slavery is a choice and, you know,
that's what
all
I'm saying.
the other
So
anti-black stuff.
What happens now when that's done in that capacity? What happens?
You know, he probably loses a couple shows and, you know, he doesn't really have business deals anymore. He doesn't have corporate deals anymore. I think that, you know.
Do you think that somebody's going to wear that shirt?
I hope a Kanye fan does wear that shirt and gets exactly what's coming to them. That's what I hope. I hope somebody does. I do.
It's not okay.
Of course it's not okay. I'm Jewish. I had big chunks of my family killed off by Nazis. I get it.
It's not okay.
My grandfather had 10 brothers and sisters who all were killed off during World War II by Nazis. So, you know, I would have had a bigger family if it wasn't for the Nazis. It's not okay. And but it's just sort of interesting that a person who is actually hated by the same people who he's bringing up is praising this person. You see what I'm saying? It just seems like mental illness to me.
Is this at an all-time high of we've had it up to here? Are we there? Because what does cancellation mean at this point?
Well, I don't think, and I've said this, me and Wack were talking about this the other day.
I mean, can he go outside? Is he safe?
Of course he's outside.
And so how is that?
I believe.
If the magnitude is that heavy.
I believe, and I have to explain myself after I say this because Wack pointed out how this could come off the wrong way. I truly believe the only way to truly cancel somebody is to put them in prison or kill them. Now, I don't want either of those things to happen to Kanye.
Yeah, God forbid.
I don't want it. I'm not implying that this should happen to him. I'm saying that while he's still alive and while he's not in prison, he can't be canceled. He will keep putting out projects, and certain people will look past it because they might like the art, and certain people will still go to his shows, and people will buy his merch, hopefully not that merch, but other merch, and artists will still collaborate with him that don't feel personally offended by the things that he says.
Now
we've seen that happen, and we're seeing it happen again.
Now, I'm a journalist, right?
Okay.
And I have a show called The Reality Check, and, you know, we tap into issues that a lot of people don't tap into, and you saw me last year on News Nation, you saw me on the Reality Check News, and I had a lot to say. I had a lot to say about asses being taken. I had a lot to say about turning cheek to cheek. And then, you know, I don't want to turn another cheek because at that point in this mode that we were in, all I was thinking about was butt cheeks, right?
Okay.
This is all on the national news. People are tweaking. They're going, yo, Ray's bugging out. But they're missing the point of what I was trying to say is that we're creating all of these stories for people to inject their emotions into. If you watch SNL, you understand that the troll is real. It's a spoof, right? It's acting, right? You watch a movie and they're on drugs and they're doing all these profound things. They're doing crazy shit. It could be a story about somebody from another country, whatever it is. You're watching it and you're enjoying it because it's a movie. When are we gonna get to the point where we can see through the troll in the real life promotion and real life shows like reality shows? Because a lot of that has the same element to it. It has a very spoof troll kind of like recreated story that riles you up. But the only thing that is different is that the reality side of it, or if it's non-fictional and put in that, you know, that title and then that column, doesn't get the same effect because you think it's real. But a lot of this shit is all smoke and mirrors. And all of it has this troll spoof kind of like moment that's really not real. And then there are real moments to it. Just like in movies, just like when people say what they say that they shouldn't say.
Look, is Kanye doing a social experiment to see what would happen in his own mind? Possibly. He even kind of hinted at that.
But it's still, and Ye can say whatever he wants about me after I say this or whatever.
From my point of view, it appears that Kanye is going through a manic episode.
That's not fair to say, man.
You don't think so?
No,
have you seen
man.
people go through manic episodes? I have. I've seen it firsthand, and it reminds me of this.
I think that people are geniuses and they understand how to poke and how to pick and how to create their own campaign that generates organic marketing. I don't think, like, honestly, it can't be real. You know, that's what most people are doing. I'm only speaking for the masses. That can't be real. He's just trolling. He doesn't believe that. He's not Yadoff. That's not okay.
He called himself that.
I know. I'm a journalist.
Yeah.
I know about all of it. You know?
Yeah.
Kodak in the middle of the street eating chicken.
Right.
The Rolls Royce is on the other side of the camera.
Right. But he's in the middle of the street.
He's chilling.
Yeah.
He's hungry. He wanted to sit down and have a meal.
In the middle of the street. Yeah.
Atlanta loves him. He's not going through anything. He's Kodak. He's a fucking genius. He's not with a sign saying, "Thank you for this food you gave me, please give me more and I'll rap for food." Like, and if he did that, then okay.
But Kodak has had documented drug issues over the years.
That's fine.
Not to say that he was
just eating
definitely on drugs that day, but if someone has drug issues for years and you see this type of behavior, you could say, okay, this is probably the drugs. It might not be, it might just be trolling.
In a 30-second clip.
Yeah.
With all the things on the other side of the camera that nobody can see. He could have had a motorhome. He could have had people with earpieces. He could have been shooting a whole documentary about something.
True.
Right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that I'm here today to expose the smoke and mirrors that I've said, that I've done, that everybody's doing. Like, this is entertainment. Enjoy. The more mad you are, the more clicks you get. You don't get it. You need impressions? You want to start a new Twitter site and you want to start a new Twitter account? Okay, you need 15 million impressions in order to monetize. Generally. You start spiking that shit up and you are somebody that can just say, okay, my pants are down and my dick is out. Okay, right? Now I got 20 million impressions. Okay, monetize me tomorrow. Now I'm monetizing. So all the shit I did to monetize, yeah, I went the extra mile, but now I'm getting 25,000 a month. Now my dick is out every motherfucking day. Guess why? Because I get 25,000 a day. While everybody's feeding into it. Great job. I would love to have my dick out every day for 25,000 a day. Unfortunately, that's not enough for me because that's not my rate. I'm joking.
Well, 365 days a year, that's not bad, though.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. That's a lot of money. That's millions.
Oh, my God.
Is it? Hold on. Let me do the
It's
math.
crazy.
Hold
It's
on.
25,000 times 365.
365. 1, 2, 3. 9 million. It's 9 million.
So you're almost there with me.
9
right?
million.
We're 9 away.
9 million.
We're 9 away.
9 million is pretty good.
So we're at 50 for me a day.
50,000?
I need 18.
Okay, so you'll get 18 and a half million.
And what's crazy about me is that when I go outside, you know how I'm not as tall as people think I am. So I go outside and they're like, oh, okay. You shorter than what I thought, but you still, you know, whatever. That goes for all body parts.
You know, I just interviewed this guy who actually got height surgery. He went from 5'5" to 6 feet.
I know, I seen those guys.
You saw that?
That's loud. That's not okay.
From 5'5". Well, 2011.
Damn, we still ain't even got to 14 yet.
No, we're not at 14 yet. We're in 2011.
Damn.
This was when me and you, I think, met around this time.
We had beef before, huh?
Who? Me and you?
Me and you?
Yeah.
We did? Or no? I think it was like a...
You want to talk about it?
I think we had beef, no? I don't remember.
We had some, we had a little something. We could talk about that. You want to talk about it? All right, let's talk about it. Okay, because this actually talks about our last issue. Okay, the last topic.
So he said, fuck it. Move this out the way.
Fuck it. Okay.
Bring this back in.
Well, this happened at the I Hit It First video shoot.
Wasn't Wack tripping?
Let's talk about it. So what had happened was I had met this director, and he said, hey, you want to come out to this video shoot I'm doing with Ray J, and Game was supposed to be there. But
Game didn't want to show up because Game was playing both sides.
Right.
See, he was playing both sides when he know I ran him to play on my birthday.
Right.
Because I like, if somebody told me that giving a fuck existed, I never believe him because I still haven't seen it to this day that I gave one.
So I had just moved to LA that year. I was invited to this video shoot.
You had the guns around you. You had people
I had my
around
man
you.
right here. Who you see? He was right there.
Right,
my man Biggie.
He had a
we
gun.
Came in there. We were strapped.
No doubt.
Just in case.
And I advise everybody to just leave your guns at home and do all your drugs in the bathroom.
So I'm there. Me and you already knew each other, so we was chilling. Oh, what's up? Whatever. And I remember saying, hey, do you mind if I take some photos? And you're like, yeah, go ahead. Now, I wasn't completely clear as to what I'm doing with those photos, but I thought it was somewhat assumed because, I had the website and so forth. I met Wack 100 that day as well.
Now, what year is this again?
2013.
13, you guys. This is 12 years ago.
Yeah.
2015.
No, 2013.
Oh, yeah. So
2013.
So it's what, 14 years ago? Something like that.
Yeah. Like no.
13.
12 years ago.
12, 13, yeah.
12 years ago, right. So I met Wack 100. We talked, got to know each other a little bit. He said that he was working with you as well as working with Game. And so
well, first off, I'm the first one that believed in Wack 100. Mm-hmm. I'm the first one that said Wack is coming into the industry and he about to take the industry by storm. Wack, this is what we about to do. Let's go. Yeah. So it's safe to say that what?
You're right.
Ray J
discovered Wack. There you have it.
I didn't say it. You said it.
I said it. I'll say it. So I was chilling for a while, took some photos, hung out with everyone, went home, uploaded the photos to Vlad TV, not knowing there was anything wrong with this because the video shoots, you take photos and you upload them if you're, a media channel.
Yeah.
I didn't know that the concept of this video was like a secret, right? No one told me this.
Yeah. Well, where was Wack's full video? He paid for everything. It was a song. I did one.
I understand why these photos after the fact were a problem, but I'm telling you, my story has never changed. I did not know they were a problem. And then, I remember I sent them to the video director. He goes, okay, that's cool. Just tag me in the photos or mention me. I said, okay, cool. So then I get a phone call from Wack. And he is furious. He is screaming at me on the phone.
He's very mad.
Very mad.
Yeah, because he put all his money up on the song.
Right.
Wack told me to do I Hit It First. We did I Hit It First 7-8 months before that. It was perfect timing to drop it then. Mm-hmm. When Wack wanted to drop it, it was like a little bit in a crazy time to drop it.
Yeah.
But Wack wanted to drop it, and shit, he put all his money up and he put it on the set.
And I guess there was other investors involved and
he
some
had
other
all
people.
kind of shit going on.
Exactly.
So I'm like, fuck it, homie, let's do that shit.
Right. So I guess the investors were upset that this was up and so forth. So Wack was upset. Now, this is Wack from 12 years ago. This is not...
This is before he understood patience, time. This is when he was
business
activated on the other side.
And so forth.
This is in the beginning of me saying, Wack, I want you in control, but I'm going to need you to learn how to balance it because it's working on one way. But I need you to make sure you balance it with the professional side. So let's find a place for Cash Jones in.
Right. So he's screaming at me on the phone, and I'm like, listen, I'll take it down. It's not a problem. I'm not pushing back. But he's screaming at me. Now, the way the conversation went, me and him, slightly different in our recollection. He said some things that I took as threats. He claimed that it wasn't threats and so forth. But, whatever, it doesn't matter.
He's just expressing himself.
He's expressing himself.
I didn't see any threat.
Right. And at one point he goes, I'm like, listen, I apologize. I'll take it down. And he said, you got to apologize to Ray J. And then I realized that you were on the three-way call as well. Now, me and you had a conversation. You said you weren't on the call. But then me and Wack, when he was on Vlad TV, he said you were on the call.
If Wack said I was on the call, then I probably was.
Okay.
I probably just nodded off.
Okay. And this is where me and you, I remember what I said to Wack was, where I had the problem with you at that moment was, if one of my people started speaking crazy to you, I would step in and I would handle it. But he said, well, what you're not realizing, Vlad, is that you're not just talking to Ray J and Wack. I'm a Ma Pyru general, and Ray J is, a Ma Pyru, so he can't tell me to do certain things based on street politics. And I'm like, okay, I get it.
I don't know about Ray J being a mob pyru. I think that
That's what he described on camera.
No, and probably again, it was probably in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
Ray J is nothing but just a loving father, a businessman.
I
always try to approach everybody with respect and kindness. So I think that was where the mob pyru stuff is where it got a little shaky.
Right.
But I think that we all know that, I'm nothing but a professional and things are being said in the heat of the moment.
From that point, I said to myself, I'm not fucking with Wack. If this is where an argument leads to, into threats and crazy screaming, I don't need to have any more conversations with him. And it even got to the point where you want to do an interview with me, but I'm like, you still fucking with Wack? I'm not fucking with you.
Yeah, exactly, right.
The whole thing happened. And then maybe about a year and a half ago, I was working on booking Game for an interview. And I expressed that if we're going to do it, Wack is not going to be part of this. And that was fine. We tried to book it. It fell apart. And I said, let me just give Wack a call. And talk to him.
And just flush it out.
And we got on the phone. And I said, look, we can sit here and argue over what happened 10 years ago. But at the end of the day, you made millions since then. I've made millions since then. And that situation didn't affect anyone's money.
What about me? Did I make anything?
You made millions since then.
I don't know what I made.
Right, you made millions since then. But it was just me and him talking.
That's what I made connections.
Right, exactly.
I haven't made anything.
We laughed it off. He came in, did an interview. We talked about it on camera. And what we said, which we both agreed on, was that because of that situation, if we had just gotten over it back then and worked together over the course of those 10 years, we probably lost about $1 million each by the stance that we both took.
I agree.
Had we just worked it out in a reasonable period of time and worked together over the 10 years, there'd be at least $1 million in our pocket.
But I think that shows the growth and where Cash Jones and Wack 100 played a part because, again, Cash Jones and Wack 100 are two different people. And I think the Wack 100 overshadowed the Cash Jones. I think once he settled into this business and he understood just what needs to be done as far as due diligence, patience, understanding. Sometimes it might go up, but then you also make the call to bring it back to make it reasonable and make it understandable. I think that's where it's always at, just creating peace.
And you can't just sit there and threaten everybody because at the end of the day, everyone who's really getting it, no one's really a punk.
Exactly.
But you
got to understand. But
I may not physically want to get into it with you.
100's defense from back then, he didn't understand that at the time. So all he resorted to was violence in that capacity.
Yeah.
And a lot of people can tell you, I felt bad for some of the homies that I work with today, and I promised them that that'll never happen again. Some of my friends didn't understand how to do it professionally, so they did it another way, and I want them to forgive me. I want them to give me another chance at doing business with them another way. Bringing Wack and the squad in, it was crazy at first because I didn't give a fuck about burning bridges or nothing because I felt like the industry was so tainted that they needed this kind of like understanding of when you say you're gonna hit me back or you say you're gonna do this deal and you're not doing this deal, that it's an extreme problem if you don't do that. Fast forward it to now, there's always a better way to approach it.
Yeah, it's like conversations work better.
Absolutely.
Because certain people at the 2011, you were in this documentary with Floyd Mayweather where you were playing the piano. And Fabulous made some comments about you in a joking manner. And that escalated into some sort of physical incident. Honestly, like the whole thing with you and Ray J, which started off on Twitter,
Yeah.
it seemed like you were just joking around, and it turned into something.
But it really turned into something because Ray J just wasn't in his right, sober mind, I guess. You know what I'm saying? He will tell you that. I'll let him discuss that if y'all ever do that interview with him. But, you know what I'm saying? That's why I just went a different place, because it shouldn't have went to a different place, but it did because, you know what I mean? I guess if you're sensitive about something, sometimes you take some drugs, you bring that sensitivity up. But, you know, that was over. It was a long time ago.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know. It's the time when Floyd had a fight. I don't know who he was fighting.
Victor Ortiz.
Victor Ortiz. Shout out to Victor Ortiz too. That's the homie. Yeah, shit just got shaky. I mean, I don't know. Puffy was there. Suge was there. It was a lot.
Yeah. Allegedly, you confronted Fabulous and you punched him.
Did you see the shit on Drink Champs
With
when they spoke about what happened with the fight?
I missed it.
All right, you know why? Because Puff was doing the whole shit, I think, with Groovy Lou later, so it got mixed up with what they said. But you should, if you about to break this down, you should break down what they said. Him and Jadakiss, Fab, kind of explaining what happened, and then they double back to like whatever we talking about.
Well, yeah, I remember me and you were talking at the time. Well, no, I was at SRC and Billy J was there.
Shout out to
and
Billy J.
Billy J were
That's my
working
fucking
together.
brother. Billy J he really brought me into the Tron.
Yeah.
He really gave me my name.
And I remember I'm like telling Billy, I'm like, yo, after I heard about the incident, I'm like, yo, have Ray talk to me because I'll try to, look out for him and try to present this a certain type of way where we could de-escalate it and make him look good and so forth. But you decided to go on Breakfast Club instead.
I don't know how I ended up on Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Billy J put me on the Breakfast Club. That's when the homie Low was alive. Rest in peace to my nigga Low, because he really held me down that night. I was going through a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you had quite a verbal tirade during that part.
That's when like shit like that was just starting to go viral.
Yeah, you talked about booty goons and
Never talked about booty goons.
No?
Angela Yee created booty goons.
Oh, okay.
I said some shit that was way more activated than that.
Didn't you say that you could get him raped or something like that?
It was something like that.
Something like that.
It had nothing to, like, them two words, booty goons, that's Angela Yee.
Okay.
Shout out to
But
Angela.
that's the way it was coined afterwards.
Yeah, she cleaned it up.
Okay.
Yeah, she cleaned it up.
But that was some wild shit to say.
It wasn't okay. It wasn't okay.
It
bro.
wasn't okay. And you apologized for it afterwards.
I mean, I did, and again, that was Ray J. That wasn't Tron. That wasn't 2025 Tron. That was Ray J. And so, of course, I did that.
You said that you were
Ray
going
J
through a
did
lot of depression during that time.
I don't know what the fuck I was going through. All I know is that the homie gave me too much, you know what I'm saying? Too much to handle. And so I had the red shorts on with the red slippers, no socks, with the red hoodie, with the red hat. I had that shit on for like 3 days, bro. I ended up at the concert 3 days later. That was my pool outfit I was wearing at the pool. I ended up with that shit 2 days later at the concert.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a time where I was very vulnerable and really nobody like was there to save me. Like everybody wanted me to crash. And that's when I realized that nobody was my
I was
friend.
trying to save you. Like what I'm saying, you could ask Billy J. I was saying, yo.
But Vlad, you should have grabbed me and tackled me, bro.
Well, see, I was around you. I was around Billy.
You should have grabbed me and tackled me. If you cared about me, somebody should have grabbed me and tackled me and took me to the room, and it didn't matter how it looked.
Did you and Fabulous ever have a conversation after that?
Never.
Never. Okay.
I said what I said, meaning like, I was tripping. But we never really sat down and talked about it. He had this other story about how it happened. And you know what? I'm going to give it to Fab. Whatever story he said on the Breakfast Club, he could have that story. Because I was wrong.
Yeah.
So have it. But it wasn't accurate.
Listen, man, we've all done wrong. We've all.
Yeah, but his story was.
2016, you got married to Princess Love.
Damn, 16, 17, 18, 19.
9 years.
Fuck! I've been in this game for a long time. And I love her. I love Princess.
Shout out to Princess Love.
I love her. I love her more. I never love another woman like I love her.
Being in this industry, a lot of men don't want to get married because there's so many women around and there's so many options and so forth. Why did you decide to actually get married? You were 35 at the time.
She was the same person as me. When God speak to me, I don't argue. When God say something to me, I don't argue. And I went for it. And now we got 2 beautiful kids. And we're friends. And whether we go up or whether we go down, our time together has been unmatched. Like, I wouldn't take it back for nothing. I had the greatest time with her, just building this family. So moving forward, just now that I'm back just on my own, I'll never love again. You know,
You'll never love again.
there's no point to. I made a
Really?
vow. Absolutely.
Man, you're young. Good shape. Successful.
6-pack coming back.
6-pack coming back.
That's not for the
It's a
ladies.
keg right now,
That's
but the
not-
6-pack is coming.
It's a 2.5.
It's a 2.5.
Maybe
Okay.
3. Maybe 4 is on the way, but
Okay.
no, I never love again, man. I made a vow to her, so even if it's not there no more as far as divorce or whatever, like, my word is everything.
Well, when we talked about the whole Fabulous incident, that was at Floyd Mayweather's house. And you and Floyd had a good relationship. That was Floyd's ex.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
No.
So why was this story pushed like that?
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about, though?
Yeah, I mean, they was in whatever they was in,
Okay. But it wasn't a serious relationship.
but it wasn't as serious as I wanted it to be.
Okay.
My serious looked totally different. This is what serious looked like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You guys got married in 2016. In 2020, she filed for divorce the first time. And over the years, you guys both filed. And I believe in 2024, she filed for the 4th time. Is that accurate?
Did she filed the last time?
Yeah.
That's her?
Yeah, that's when we were at the Tarzana house, and
I
you
found
were
out
sitting
about it.
outside smoking, and
Nah, she sent it to no. She sent the divorce papers to the Tarzana house.
that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Me and you were sitting out in front,
Yeah.
and the server came.
That
and
shit
said,
hit me like a freight
"Really,
train.
Norwood?"
Yeah.
And you said, "Is there a celebration?" She handed you the.
He said, "Yeah, there is a celebration."
Divorce papers.
Hold for sound. I don't.
Let me ask you a question. You guys file for divorce, and then you guys work it out. And you file for divorce, and you guys work it out. File for divorce, work it out. What keeps you guys coming back, and then what causes you guys to file again?
I think that we love each other as friends, and I think we lack extreme transparency, and because we care about each other's emotion. But I think we're the same person, and I think sometimes you gotta restart it completely to understand if you do want to start over. Starting over means to totally deactivate what is, because if you don't deactivate what is, you never really started over. Like, if I say I'm gonna take everything off my Instagram, I got it in my archive. When the archives is done, all those memories are over with, and you start over. If we always got archives and we keep coming back and putting all the archives back up on the map, we'll never be able to wipe the slate clean. And so I think wiping the slate clean like we're doing now is important for us as parents and friends, and telling ourselves that, hey, that was a good run and I'll never take it back. And for me, I don't know what she wants to do, but I'll never love no other woman again.
Well, I remember there was an incident that happened in Vegas, and I recently watched the talk that you guys had. I think it was on Zeus Network, where you guys
That's
talked
when
about
that's when Zeus started to get popping.
Yeah.
There was no Zeus before that conversation.
Yeah, it was a hell of an interview. It was like 3
Just
hours
saying,
long.
There was no Zeus Network
And that launched it.
before the conversation. There was a 4-year Zeus Network, but the Zeus Network activated when we gave him the conversation.
It was difficult to watch because it triggered a lot of stuff in my own relationships and so forth. It was like, both people trying to be heard, but both people trying to control the conversation at the same time.
Yeah, it was tough.
It was tough.
It's tough to watch, man.
Yeah. She kept going back to the strippers, going back to your room, and you kept trying to explain what happened leading up to it and so forth.
Strippers are strippers,
Yeah.
Why you laugh?
No comment.
I love strippers.
Everyone loves strippers.
And I support strippers.
That's right.
I support strippers in whatever they want to do. And that's always going to be my campaign. I'm going to always support strippers.
Shout out to the strippers.
I mean, that's all I know.
February 10th, 2025, today. You guys are still living together. Is the divorce actually going to happen from your point of view?
Well, think about it like this. So we got the house, and in the house is a lot of toys. Upstairs, there's a guest bedroom, and then there's the kids' rooms, and then you go to that side, and then there's Princess's room. She got her room, she got the bedroom, she got the closets, she got all that. Downstairs, you come down, and it's like a little office. That's where all the dogs are. We got the rabbits. We got 2 rabbits. We got two cats. We got 3 dogs. We got 1 gerbil. We got 2 bunnies, and we got 3 chickens, right? So that's all on my floor, right? So it's just like, it's all kind of shit going on the first floor, right? A magnitude of stuff. And when I order Chick-fil-A, or when I order, Popeye's chicken, which we love, with the hot sauce and the honey on it, right? I got 3 chickens outside running around as pets. So I'm eating a leg, I'm like, I don't like chicken no more. They my pets, right? I got 2 cats too. So in that situation, 2 weeks from now, I'm gonna get my own spot too. And then we'll be able to balance the world that we in, but I sleep on the couch. So we really don't live together. It's just a rest stop for me until I move on, until I get exactly what, she's getting as far as having her own space and her own world. I don't have that yet. I'm a nomad.
Well, ultimately, when I look at situations like this, when I speak to people that have gone through that, it's a tough process to go through, but when it's all said and done, both parties are happier.
I think so.
That's what I think will happen with you guys.
My kids love for me to be there.
Yeah.
But they don't mind me having another spot that has different amenities, that has different things for them to explore, and then they can go from mom's house to dad's house. Yeah. And I want to give Princess her space. I know she hates me being there. She's over it. Yeah. And she can't wait for me to move out.
Do you guys have a prenup?
Do we? We have a prenup?
Yeah, but
it doesn't matter.
2017, you founded Raytronics and Raycon Global.
Well, in 2017, we created Raycon Global, and I think 15 we created.
15.
That's Raytronics. So Raytronics, we sold the Scooty Bike company to a company called Loopshare in Canada. Stock ticker LPPPPF, in case you want to invest now. It's a Canadian stock, but it is on all the stock exchanges. But that's Scooty Bike. Sold Scooty Bike. Then we got into Raycon Global in 2017, and that's a Delaware, New York-based company with my other co-founder Ray Lee and Mr. Lee and family.
Well, you reportedly sold Raycon for $31 million?
No. So 31 million is the number that we got for Raycon to start. Scooty Bike and Raytronics is a different company that I sold to Loopshare in Canada. So these are 2 different companies.
Okay. So can you say...
Raycon and Raytronics is 2 different things.
Okay, got it. Sorry, I'm confusing it.
Yeah.
So...
And that's how a lot of things get mixed up with me because it's so tangled in with Ray.
Okay, the scooter company is what originally?
Raytronics.
Raytronics.
The Scooty Bike powered by Raytronics.
Okay, so the Scooty Bike, you sold that part of the company.
Loopshare. I sold Scooty Bike in total, 100%.
How much? Can you say?
To Loopshare. I don't want to say.
Okay.
I never talk about money, but it was healthy.
Okay.
Then I ended up buying it back recently.
Really?
Yeah, the trademark, the name, the likeness, everything. To start it over again, to sell it again soon. And by the end of the year, it'll sell again.
Well, at one point, a man sued you for $30 million, claiming that you stole the Scooty Bike idea from him. You know what I'm talking about, right? What happened with that lawsuit?
We ended up settling. I ended up giving him a lot of money, and then we ended up working it out.
Okay, can you say how much you gave him?
It was too much.
Too much?
Too much to say.
Every settlement is like that, trust me.
That's a lot.
I've had to settle with people, and it's always been too much as well.
It's just over the top. And again, if you look at Ray J, the character, you would never even think Ray J was going through anything in this kind of business world, right? Because Ray J is a very loose character. This is all either Tron or Willie Norwood, but we've been through a lot of stuff like that. This was probably one of the biggest ones that we had to pay out.
Well, in 2019, you were on Complex, I think, with Speedy Norman, and you had these unbreakable glasses.
So those, yeah.
You said they're unbreakable. Go ahead and try to break them. And he's like, are you sure? You're like, yeah, go ahead.
Dude, he broke them.
He completely smashed them.
Which helped.
It helped?
It helped. I mean, that company went, it's a company called Bunny Eyes.
Okay.
Jenny Hutt is the owner of that company. I just came in and helped from the marketing side. Charles Koppelman is her dad, and he's a boss. Rest in peace, he passed away. But he used to run EMI. He was a billionaire. And he was helping his daughter start the company. I did some of the marketing. They ended up going on Shark Tank, and now it's like a massive company. So the company's called bunnyeyes.com with a Z.
Did you know that those glasses were going to fall apart?
He broke them from like a place where you could break them.
Okay.
The glasses are very loose and very bendable.
Yeah.
You could go fishing, reel the shit back in. Like, so it was a different kind of product, but Speedy just really just like did me in. Right? It was one of the big...
but you told him to do it.
Yeah, I did. And then what did I say after? I said, I don't care. I don't care.
I mean, that probably gave it more push than it not breaking.
One of the biggest pushes we ever have for a company. And so when you look at some of the things that go wrong in our campaigns, we started to get confused because we started to go, okay, shouldn't things go wrong? Like, something should go wrong because that helps us. If we almost jump off the deep end, doesn't that help the company? Because if we look at the math of every time we fucked up, it worked. Even with verses, I sounded horrible. Couldn't sing. I mean, I over-rehearsed. But we created a reality version of it and created this chaos that happened on stage, which ended up being the highest rated verses they had. 7 million impressions, 7 million likes, 7 million comments, 7 million views. Over everything on verses. But that's not what gets the props. When you see Versus promo, it's not us, because that was out of control. It's Brandy and Monica, Jeezy and Gucci, right? These monumental moments. They still don't match our numbers. So for us, I started to get confused. Okay, should I go out and fuck up or should I go out and do good? What works better? You look at the math, fucking up works.
That's interesting. So when you actually plan out strategies, one of the options is to fuck up.
I think that is the only option if you're hiring us, because I've always asked people. So you saw what we did on our last 3 different projects, and it was pretty crazy. What do you want us to do? They go, do what you want. just don't don't do too much. But do what you want, right? And so at that point, I was like, okay, I need to retire the J.
Okay.
Because we have to say, okay, we know we can fuck up and it works, but we have to sacrifice that for substance and for the right message moving forward, because we know we can do that. How do we train ourselves to say, fuck that kind of money, and start to train ourselves to give them the journey that got us here, the do's and don'ts, and the positive things that will help you along the way so you don't go through the same.
At one point, you visited Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago.
Several times.
Several times.
At least 8 times.
8 times.
At least. All access.
What is it about Donald Trump that you know that most people don't realize?
I really never get into politics because it's kind of like a personal thing for everybody in politics. You know, what's right for you and your family and where you are today. I can say this. There's always an underdog, and there's always somebody that is doubting what people can do for everybody, and they get overshadowed by the controversy. I can say this, if you're an American, Americans are gonna be good, no matter what race you are. It overshadows it, so everybody wins at the end of the day. How we got here to this point, it's like a boxing fight, man. People are gonna say what they're gonna say. They're gonna do what they're gonna do to promote the fight, to promote the plan. Once it's done, if you look at what's happened in America when Trump was in, I mean, it goes without saying. Just do the facts.
Well, look, my stock portfolio went crazy after he was elected, especially my Tesla stock. My God.
And
I'm looking at the profit, I mean, on paper, and I'm like, this can't be real. This can't be, like, I'm refreshing, like, maybe there's a glitch right here. No, this is real.
It's massive, and I think it's good for Americans. Even if people don't understand it right now, they will in the next year and a half when things start to get better.
Now, you introduced Kodak Black to Donald Trump.
Single-handedly. I'll send you some of the video of it. It's pretty loud.
Now, at one point, Kodak called you out over claims that you embarrassed him or embarrassed yourself, or I didn't quite understand it.
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about, though. Mm-hmm. And you responded.
What did I say?
Well, you responded and said that the two of you could fight if you wanted to actually settle it, which I assume never happened.
I mean, I handled it very irresponsibly. It wasn't the right way to handle that. I was talking about stress and concerns about a video that he had up that really didn't have nothing to do with me. It was totally none of my business, and I spoke on it. He responded with some crazy shit, and I responded, just as anybody would. But at the end of the day, certain things people do online, you gotta let them do and trust their process. And I didn't do that at the time.
Well, yeah, but this was after Trump had pardoned Kodak Black.
Absolutely.
So this was a big deal. This is the first time they met since the pardon.
Yeah, that's why I said he should come over, because we were there.
Right.
And I was there a lot of times. And shout out to Pastor Scott and shout out to Kareem and all my team that got me close to Trump. It just was like, yo, Kodak, pull up.
Okay, and what happened after he pulled up?
They said, what's up? They locked in.
So what was the issue exactly?
The issue had something to do with a video that he did a long time after that.
Oh.
Had nothing to do with that.
Okay, got it.
This was straight up. And I also hit Wayne that night and said, Wayne, pull up.
He didn't
because
pull up?
I had the authority to call people and tell them to pull up. Kodak pulled up with 8 people. None of them did background checks. That was all on the strength of Pastor Scott, Kareem, and the connections I had with Trump and me. And it was a good night. And again, later on, we got into it. I'm an old man. Why am I beefing with Kodak? If he got mad at me, I should have just, just called him and worked it out.
Yeah.
And I didn't. The old Ray J came back again. I dye my hair sometimes, so there's no grace. So I forget who I am. I forget that I'm like 15 years older than people.
Yeah.
And so.
Well, you made some comments about Diddy. You said, Diddy was my friend. What do you do when you've never seen all the shit that people are talking about?
I didn't say Diddy was my friend. I said Diddy was my friend, not was. Not was.
I believe you said was.
Is. No, I said not was. Even in the video, I said not was.
Is.
I was. Okay. I was arguing with myself.
Okay, got it. Okay, so let me correct it. Diddy is my friend.
No, I said Diddy was my friend. And then I went, not was, and I stopped. And I started to think about what I said. It was like a mind challenge. Show the clip.
Okay, we'll
cool.
show it.
And then we're back.
All right. So you said, what do you do when you've never seen all the shit that people are talking about?
What do you
believe it? I'm sorry?
Who was the first person to speak up for Diddy?
Was it you?
I'm asking.
Well, from the very beginning, listen, I've been on Piers Morgan and I've been asked this question over and over again, and what I've said the whole time has been consistent, and that is, I'm not exactly sure what he's being charged with.
I was the first person to speak up for Diddy.
Okay. And you said, look, everyone's innocent until they're proven guilty. Do you forgive someone for taking somebody's ass? There's a lot of people out here taking from people. People are getting robbed of not only their money and their spirituality, they're getting robbed of their womanhood and manhood. Mm-hmm. Asses are being taken in ways that nobody can explain. Okay, you know this.
Yeah, asses are being taken in ways that nobody can explain. Yep, I know it line for line. I said it.
Now, you've also said that Diddy has a demon inside him for beating Cassie.
We all do. We all do. None of us are okay with what we saw with the Cassie situation.
No,
but that's not what he's being charged for.
No, that's past.
So we're all upset.